welcome. My name is Jeremy, and this is the Ranger Project. As you may be able to tell from the opening credits, I'm about to dive into the first ever episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, The Day of the Dumpster. Now, before I get to the plot, let me briefly explain what I'll be doing here today. The Ranger Project is, as it's named, a weight loss journey, or a project, if you will, that I am on to become fit enough to be a Power Ranger. You can interpret that however you'd like, but at the very least, I want to have a body where I can proudly cosplay as a Power Ranger, preferably in movie armor and not spandex. In the past, I've only cosplayed as Bulk, and this vest is what I wore when I did that cosplay, so you'll be seeing this vest for at least the entirety of Season 1. Hopefully it'll fit a little nicer by the time I get there. Now, no offense to Paul Schreier, who is an absolute gentleman and one of my favorite parts of the show and the fandom, but I don't want to cosplay as Bulk. I want to be... Jason, truthfully. I want to look like Jason. But I guess I want to be Billy, because blue is my color. Now, any Ranger physique, I'm up for. They all have fit bodies, and that's what I'm going for. I do have to say that meeting Paul Schreier and Jason Narvi was one of my absolute favorite memories of taking part in this fandom, with Jason Narvi even posting a photo on his own Facebook page of my son Henry when he was 18 months old and he cosplayed his Skull with me. For now, let's get back to the episode. Our episode starts with the astronauts landing on the moon. Maybe. There's an atmosphere and there's puddles and it's just odd. Some fans say this was a rogue planetoid that came near Earth. And I can't deny that we see what looks like the astronauts flying past the moon. But given that Rita's palace was very clearly on the moon in the entire series, my headcanon is that this is taking place on the moon. We also never see these poor astronauts again. Did they escape? Did Rita murder them? Who knows? And apparently we don't care. On Earth, we are introduced to our Rangers, who are already very conveniently color coordinated at Ernie's Youth Center. We also get to meet Bulk and Skull, who are straight up bullies and not the lovable doofuses. Doofi? What's the plural of doofus? Anyway, whatever it is, they're not nice like they become in later seasons. In fact, in this episode, it seems that they were about to physically assault Kimberly and Trini. Now our girls can handle their own, but if they hadn't, what would we have just witnessed? As we now see, Rita has already set up her moon palace, where Finster is making putties out of lumps of clay that I have always thought just straight up look like dog turds. Back on Earth, Billy is taking his first martial arts class, and we have our first error of the series. Billy and Jason are already wearing their communicators, something Billy doesn't even invent until the next episode. I'll explain that in a bit. Now, before this turns into an episode of Saved by the Bell, an earthquake strikes. Zordon requests that Alpha teleport to him 5 overbearing and over-emotional teenagers. I have to ask, were these 5 kids already selected? Or did he just have Alpha find 5 appropriately diverse teens who were in the right place at the right time? I don't know, and I'm not sure we'll ever really know. But after everyone but our 5 main characters hits the bricks, our teens are teleported out of the youth center in streaks of light. This very teleportation effect is used a lot in early Season 1. I also have to comment that Zordon requested a different group of teens in the opening credits.
Recruit a team of teenagers with attitudes.
As you just heard, he asked for 5 teenagers with attitudes. And I just have to say, you could not have picked a more respectful, non-attitude having group of teens ever. But I digress. Our brief teleportation jaunt is soon over, and our protagonists are dumped into either an amazing high-tech command center or a really cheap plywood set with black tarps and Christmas lights on the wall. It can go either way. But we meet Alpha 5, my personal favorite robot of all time. Bender is a very close second. And then we have floating head Zordon in footage that David Fielding filmed in one day, and the series reused all the way up through the finale of Power Rangers in Space. Zordon gives them the 25-cent tour. He gives them their power morphers on really cheap belts that they'll never wear again. And the teens decide to just leave. Because that's what you do when you're teleported to an unknown location and you're told to be superheroes. You leave, and you just hope you can walk on. Rita sees that this has happened, and she sends the putties to attack our teens. We have another quick mistake. This overhead shot shows Jason wearing a different shirt and a different Trini if you watch very quickly. That's because this is from an alternate pilot where Audrey Dubois was Trini, not Twee Trang, but she decided to leave. Trini was recast with the Twee Trang we know and love, but that footage was still used here. I also appreciate that during the fight, Billy, who doesn't really fight unmorphed until well into the second half of season 1, he's the first to get tossed to the ground by the putties. In fact, even though Zach seems to be very much second in command at times during season 1, Trini is actually the next to last to get beaten by the putties before Jason. Good for her. The teens finally morph, and Alpha teleports them to the city, I guess, where they fight Goldar, who has wings. Now, the wings are soon gone, and they don't really come back till season 2, and we finally find out why they're there in season 2, but I don't know why we had them in these early episodes. It's a mess, y'all. The putties are failing, the Rangers are winning, so Rita makes Goldar grow big, the Rangers summon their Zords, and we get this exchange.
This is amazing! I seem to know how to drive this thing!
Affirmative, I do too. It's almost like second nature to me.
I absolutely love this. Fighting instincts aside, this shows that the power gives a Ranger knowledge and skills just by morphing. It's actually handled better here in the pilot from 1993 than the not-so-great 2017 movie. But it's going to be a long time before I do an episode on that, just because it's still 24 years away. We're in 1993 right now. The Rangers make the Megazord, they defeat Goldar, Rita gets a headache, and we've won our first battle. Zordon congratulates the Rangers on a job well done, and although Kimberly is a little jokingly hesitant, they all agree to defend the Earth. They are told the 3 rules they must follow.
First, never use your power for personal gain. Second, never escalate a battle unless Rita forces you. And finally, keep your identity secret. No one may know you are a Power Ranger.
This, a new team of superheroes is born, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.